Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video we have a Black Library review, and today we're going to be checking out Blightslayer, the latest Gotrek Gunnarsson novel by Richard Strachan. Now, as always, I do like to listen to the audio version of the stories, and this one came out with audio at the same time of release of all the hardback and stuff, so it was great to be able to listen to it straight away, or near enough straight away. Had a few others on my desk before, but we are going to check this out. This one is narrated by Jonathan Keeble, who has been doing all the Gotrek narrations of late and does a fantastic job on them. Really starting to think of his voice as Gotrek almost more than I'm expecting, Brian Blessed now. While, Brian Blessed stuff is amazing, I think Jonathan Keeble is the voice of Gotrek for me now. So, with that said, let's talk a little bit about this story. And so, I am going to assume throughout the course of this video that you are up to date with the Gotrek stories. That means you've listened to Soulslayer. If you haven't, and you don't want spoilers to get mentioned from Soulslayer, I suggest maybe go read Soulslayer before listening to this, or you're going to get some spoilers. So, the story. Deep in the wilds of Gyran, a former warrior priest preaches for humanity to reject the gods. The sole survivor of a massacred Dawnbringer crusade, Amira Fidelis believes that Sigma has betrayed her. And when she faces execution for such blasphemy, it's only the intervention of a drunken, tactical, and incredibly violent slayer that saves her life. Now, bound to Gotrek Gunnarsson by a life debt, Amira finds herself caught up in his quest for revenge. And of course, we know that revenge is for none other than Malinef. Of course, at the end of Soulslayer, her unfortunate demise. But when the duo become aware of a sorcerous threat building on the far Oceanian coast, Gotrek and Amira must put aside their own desires for retribution to confront a terrible danger that would plunge all of Gyran into chaos and see a deadly aspect of Nurgle's garden manifest itself in the mortal realms. And so, this story's purpose. This story takes us on the path for Gotrek's revenge, him wanting to get back at the Idnef Deepkin, at those damn fish elves. And as we see our Slayer maybe slip back into a version of himself that we maybe remember from the earlier publications like Realm Slayer and stuff like that, where he's, still angry at the world for, Felix dying, also for, his friend where he got his shoulder pad dying as well. And so, it is an interesting sort of look at Gotrek as he's sort of not got that sort of guiding sort of hand next to him at the start of this story. Now, we obviously meet Amira in this, and she is throughout the story maybe trying to be that guiding hand, which is interesting, and we sort of see how Amira will take on that role. But we definitely have, a look at how Gotrek is dealing with grief and anger as well, because she saved him, Malinef saved him, and so he's angry and grieving at this loss of, I guess, his friend, or ally, or companion, or hated enemy, all of the above as well. And so our main characters, Gotrek Gunnarsson and Amira Fidelis. Now, we, of course, by this point, we know Gotrek. He is a Slayer, but he is maybe, like I said in the previous slide, a little bit more of that earlier Age of Sigmar Slayer and character now. And he's sort of gone back into that sort of grieving, angry, hates everything sort of mood, drinking uncontrollably, all of that sort of bad habits that he did have at the start of his Age of Sigmar journey. Now, on the other hand, we have Amira Fidelis. She is our new companion, at least for this story. Now, she is a priest of Sigmar who sort of lost her faith and lost her way. But, maybe rightly so. And so her and Gotrek bond over that point more than anything. And that's really where the connection for the two characters sort of stems from, in that, they both have this hatred of the gods. So what does change about these main characters over the course of the story? So Gotrek definitely, maybe, I think it's the connection between the two that definitely builds over the course of the story. Are we going to see Amira become that new sort of guiding hand that maybe just sort of taps Gotrek in the right direction, but also challenges him on his views when he sort of goes, I'm, a Slayer, I don't care about nothing. But really, we all know that Gotrek is quite a emotional and caring character deep down, he maybe puts on this sort of gruff, sort of destructive face, and at times maybe just, destructive because of the rune hammered in his chest. Maybe it's actually, the rune in there, sometimes taking over him, but over the course of the story, we really get to see, both of them sort of regain their hope and faith. And I think that's the big sort of thing of building the characters, both of them back up. So, like, we're building Gotrek back up again for the umpteenth time, but also building up this new character, Amara, as well. And so, what does this book do? Well, now, obviously, we've had quite a few of these Gotrek stories in Age of Sigmar, and without a doubt, Malinef Witchblade became a very popular character within the story. But I think Amara is a really interesting character to have here, and I think the story does a really good job of fleshing her out, giving her motives, passions, hatreds, feelings, and, learning so much about her character within the story. I think while this is a Gotrek story, this is very much about Amara as well, as we build her up to be potentially, a long-term or maybe short-term. Who knows where we're going to go with her, but we're definitely going to get her as a companion for Gotrek for a little bit, which is cool. And I think this book really does build her up well. And so, who would like this book? Obviously, it's a Gotrek story. If you've listened, if you've read, if you are, a Gotrek fan, then this is a story for you. Now, something I will say about this particular story is I really do think this story starts maybe a new arc in Gotrek. We definitely sort of got that last sort of arc separated, and there's definitely parts of this in the original sort of trilogy, sagas and stuff from Warhammer Fantasy, where you feel there's on-ramp books within the series where you maybe don't have to read everything before to know what's happening. Very brief knowledge at Gotrek will get you by on this. I think it describes a lot of things really well. If you are someone who's new to the hobby and you want to read about Gotrek, this would be a particularly good on-ramp, and you can go catch up and read some of the other stories later if you want, but this is a great on-ramp for newer people getting into Gotrek and all of his stories and exploits in the mortal realms. And so, in summary, this is shorter than a lot of the other more recent Gotrek novels, but quite a significant amount. This one didn't even reach, I think it was under 9 hours on Audible, and where the other two previous, both Blightslayer and Soulslayer, have been over 12, so sufficiently shorter, but that's not a bad thing. The story was really good, had nice clean intentions, beginning, middle, end, all that sort of good stuff. I think, the shortness of it just further pushes my point of a good on-ramp for people to get a feeling of Gotrek without having to commit to a larger story. But it's Gotrek. You get what you expect from this. It's fun, adventure, overcoming all odds, Gotrek being an absolute beast. And there's some truly memorable lines in there as well. I won't spoil them, but I found some of the, the quotes and stuff from Gotrek really are always great. He's such a witty and fun character. If you've read Blightslayer, though, by Richard Strachan, let us know your thoughts about it down in the comments below. Love to hear from everyone. And so that's the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel down below. And also, don't forget to drop a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our great little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server that's linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. Either by grabbing yourself some channel merch, either through our Ko-fi or Teespring stores, or by supporting us directly via Patreon and YouTube members. As a special thank you to everyone who does support the channel via Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Cure Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C. And to our YouTube members, Greenroots Gaming, Ronya, Lockloric, The Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revan R, Pink Nuka Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, and John Castle. And a special thanks to Lady Witchfox R and all the amazing people who do the moderation of our Discord server and groups who make everything we do possible. Thank you all so much once again for watching, for supporting the channel. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.